overcome. Before I pardon the time, but it was really the allotted time for my speech. I would just like to give a statement between us sa gobyerno kung hindi tayo nakakaintindihan. You know, Drilon extended, he was defended. I would like to ask Drilon, were you a part of ACRA when this contract of Ayala Water was being drafted? And why are you fumigating? Bakit kasi ikaw lang ang galit? Nasabi mo na dynasty. You are a hypocrite. You know that you cannot pass an anti-dynasty law. Ikaw nandyan sa Congress, ikaw ang mauna dito. But you know, to take it against me for protecting my country is something which I really resent. Alam mo, you describe using the dictionary the synonym ng mga oligarchy, kung ano. Then you proceeded to characterize everyone, every name, and then said that oligarchy is not bad at all, because not all oligarchies are bad. True. But ito, to my countrymen, the oligarchy that exists in this country is the oligarchy that existed during the Spanish time. And the Spanish lands and the friar lands and all the benefits that were passed on to the insulares who did not go back to Spain or to the Spaniards and into their... But that was long ago. It has been forgotten. This is the oligarchy that controls the Philippines by what? By taking control of the water and the electricity and power. Yan ang oligarchy mo, Drilon. Wala nang oligarchy dito except that they have control. Look at how can you now craft a new contract? Because I would insist that you pay the billions and billions that you collected. For example, water treatment. Oh, nandyan sa kontrata. It's in the billing. They've been collected. Since 1997. Ilang bilyon na nga, wala ni isa. Not even a faucet was built for a water treatment facility. Yan ang mahirap sa... You do not protect the oligarchs here. You are the one. Ikaw lang mag-isa. And I suspect that you were also the one or help when you were there in the Accra. We do not even know ang mga abogado sa public documents. Hindi nga alam. Hindi nga alam kung nakagraduate ba o hindi. Wala. Would you think Ayala would get the services of those? Ayala got Accra. Accra did it. Ikaw galing ka doon. Most of you, more successful lawyers sa corporation. You handle big corporate. Yan ang mahirap. O, bangga tayo dito. Hinawakan ninyo eh. Hindi ka pwede kayo. Kita mo, noong nag-increase, walang tubig, pinuputol yung tubig. Ang tao, bumigay kasi hindi pwede yung tayo hindi maligo. Hindi uminom. Electricity. ayaw mo mag-increase. O ayan, wala ka. Palaging brown out lahat. I'm sorry, but I have to say this to you. I do not like it. It's not the time for it. But since it is the time for the Sona, for people to know and people to really get the facts, then, and the right of the people to be heard. Tayo na naman ang tao magsano. Hinawakan ninyo yung tubig, pati electricity. Yun ang oligarchy. Kaya ako sinabi ko noong kumpanya, corruption is not here. Yung mga customs, maliit yan. It's there upstairs. And I was really unprovidential. Dumating yung panahon na hindi ko hiningi. Then I saw the contract. Nung nakita ko yung contract na, tsaka yung linya na yung choice, yung linya ng it belongs to government. The best of the transmission lines, whatever, government gets it first before anybody else. Thank you.
All right, Senator Drilon, thank you for joining us. We just watched President Duterte's 5th State of the Nation address. One of the first names he mentions is yours. How did you react?
Well, I was surprised, to be candid about it.
Surprise, motherfucker.
And I'm not the enemy. Our enemy is the pandemic. And he says that he took exception to my having mentioned oligarchy. Oligarchy is bad for our governance, no question about that. But I said that to eliminate oligarchy, we must take a good look at our system, strengthen our laws that makes possible oligarchy, and I think he thought that I was hitting his family when I mentioned about political dynasty. Maria, that political the need for an anti-dynasty law has been an advocacy of mine even before President Duterte came into office, and I am doing that because the Constitution requires Congress to pass a law on anti-dynasty, and that was all that I said. That we need to pass a law. In fact, among my first bills that I filed in Congress first week of July, about a year ago, or 1916 or 2016, was an anti-dynasty bill. So you know, the president thought I was referring to him. No, I was not. It has been a bill that I filed since even before. And you know, he mentioned about my favoring the Lopezes. Maria, I owe nothing to the Lopezes. I owe them nothing, and I can face them and say I don't owe you anything. And the fact that I defended abs-cbn because it was on the principle that the unjust act of the House of Representatives poses a danger to our press freedom. And that's all that I was fighting for. Number two, especially the need for information at this time when pandemic is before us, and when we need all the information outlets available, and certainly abs-cbn had a wide coverage. And number three, I was concerned about the livelihood of the 11,000 employees in abs-cbn. So I do not know why the president has opened his his Sona with a complaint about my having taken a position on abs-cbn. It's probably because he thought that when I said that in order to remove oligarchy from our system, we must have structural changes. And part of the structural change is precisely have an anti-dynasty law.
Anti-dynasty law.
Yeah.
How would you, let me pull you out then, Senator Drilon. I mean, you have been one of the most experienced legislators, government officials that we have had. How would you describe the Philippines today?
Oh, we have, my thinking is that the next 6 months will be very crucial. And for us to just survive the next 6 months is already a success. Wow. So, and that is why, Maria, I'm willing to cooperate with the administration. I will fiscalize, but I will support the laws that are needed. I voted for Bayanihan too, and because I think our people needs the assistance, and I wish that we can concentrate on that. Maria Risa or Senator Drilon are not the enemies. Our enemy is the pandemic. And
well, that also seems to be a way that the Duterte administration works, right? Demonizing perceived critics. How do you work inside what seems to be, with the vote of abs-cbn at the working group at the House of Representatives, what seems to be a captured legislature? How do you work in this environment?
Well, we in the Senate, in fairness to my colleagues, we take positions on various issues on the basis of our honest belief as to what is for the good of the country. And, a number of us in the Senate would often take a stance independent of the administration. But I do, and as I said, in these times when we need all hands on deck, I'm willing to support the administration. If, for example, as I said, in Bayanihan 1, we passed it. I'll vote tomorrow. We will pass on third reading Bayanihan 2, and I'll vote for it. Because I feel that at this time, when it comes to pandemic, we set aside our political differences and vote in accordance with what we believe is for the good of our country.
The business community and the medical community were looking to the State of the Nation address to give concrete guidelines moving forward. With the absence of that, how do you see us moving forward dealing with a pandemic?
I was among the first who called on the president to give us a clear path forward. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I said I looked when I was asked by media, what do I want to hear from the president? I said, I want to hear from the president a comprehensive plan on this pandemic. And I still have to. I'll review what he said, but I'll see. I did not hear that of any comprehensive plan. You know, it's not getting any better, Maria. We just, I think, our the COVID. Contamination today has reached over 82,000.
Yeah.
Yes, and this will continue. The prediction is that this will go over 85 to 90,000 by the end of the month. We have 5 million of our people, 5 million of our workers who lost their jobs. We had something like 5 million families who experienced involuntary hunger in the last 3 months. About 400,000 of our small and medium scale industries closed. So these are very difficult problems that our nation faces, and I'm willing to contribute my share for whatever it is worth. But as I said, it's the duty of every Filipino to do his or her share in bringing our country back to its feet.
Last question, Senator Drilon. You're right. The pandemic is the first step, right? And this is a huge problem. But how do we protect our democracy? What we're seeing is that the pandemic has also seemed to have been used as a way to consolidate power, including the anti-terror law, which you also voted for, right? So how do we protect democracy in the time of the pandemic?
Well, you know, we should not allow the use of this pandemic as a basis for discarding our Constitution. The Bill of Rights should be protected in the face of all of these pandemic steps taken. There is really a tendency to disregard everything in the face of the pandemic, and it becomes a very attractive proposition. But we must guard against that, Maria.
The shutdown of abs-cbn would have been unthinkable if we weren't all under lockdown, though, right?
Yes.
So we've lost a lot of ground. How do we regain
Yes.
that ground back?
I'm sorry?
We've
Yes.
lost a lot of
Yes, we
ground.
have lost a lot of ground. I agree with you. How do we
Uh,
bring this back?
yes,
I do not know, but we cannot give up.
great. Senator Drilon, thank you so much for your thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you.